Hey guys, Ducks Hockey and More is coming back at you today with a new video. Lots of stuff going around in the NHL. We're going to talk on a couple of things like Corey Perry, some of the trades that just went down, and we're going to talk about the Anaheim Ducks and this horrid losing streak. Stick around. Okay, so here we are, Ducks Hockey and More's back at you. So, like I talked about there, or mentioned what we're going to talk about today, I want to start things off with Corey Perry, former Anaheim Duck, who left us. We bought out his contract. Of course, longtime Ducks fans know all about Corey Perry. Scory Perry, as we used to like to call him. And, you know, sorely missed. I really enjoyed Corey Perry as a player. And when he moved on, I understood why the money aspect of thing and his contract and that kind of thing. I get it. Totally get it. It's a business and we had to do what we had to do. But one of those guys, kind of like a Ryan Getzlaf, where you want him to be a part of the team till the end of his career. You know what I mean? So I really feel like not only Getzlaf will get his number retired at the Temple, as I like to call it, Honda Center, but Corey Perry should as well. So, you know, here we are. He's in the news more recently. Some of you may have heard, some of you may have not. If you have not, well, Corey Perry was involved with some things with the Blackhawks that were against team policy, if you will. The details of which I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows except the Blackhawks organization, Corey Perry himself, that kind of thing. So the rumors that are out there are ridiculous and should not be even considered by anybody to be reality or truthful in any way. He's a good guy, and I don't, now do I know Corey Perry personally? No. Whatever he did, is he sorry for it? Does he regret it? Of course he does, but he's human. We all are human. We all make mistakes. These things happen in life. Unfortunately, for people in professional sports and organizations that are in the news, on camera, you know, this is a big deal. And so I certainly feel bad for the guy. And he has been released by the Chicago Blackhawks based on his actions. And he's no longer a Blackhawk. So that being said, I really feel, and I want you guys to comment below, I want you guys to tell me what you think should Corey Perry come back to Anaheim as, you know, to end his career, okay, and retire as an Anaheim Duck. Well, I say hell yes, okay. Corey Perry is a Duck, will always be a Duck, and, you know, playing for Montreal, playing for Tampa, you know, Chicago now, you know what I mean? No. He is a Duck through and through. In fact, I look at it this way. What's the harm in bringing him on this year, right now, with this current team and this, 8-game losing streak that we're on? Let's bring him in and change things up a little bit. And maybe he can bring a dynamic, that scoring net front presence. He's not afraid to go to the front of the net. He's an agitator, which I love about him. And he's still got it. He can still score. He's 38 years old and he's still able to play in the NHL and be a factor in games and productive. So I say bring him back. Corey Perry, man, Anaheim Duck, for sure. Now, will Pat Verbeek ever do that? I don't know. Verbeek's an interesting cat, and so I don't know if that's something he would do. But I guarantee you there's probably some people whispering in his ear that maybe that's something he should consider. I don't know. We'll see. But hey, moving on from Corey Perry and his drama in the NHL, let's talk about some of the trades that have gone down. So more recently, really, the Vancouver Canucks have been a busy team. Obviously, they're one of the best teams in the NHL right now. They've got a great record. They're playing very well. There was a lot of rumors going around about Nikita Zadorov and when he was with Calgary and the Flames moving him, and he wanted out of the Calgary organization as well. At least that's what we started hearing. Well, that finally came to fruition. So what Vancouver did is they went and moved Anthony Bevier, Okay, moved him. I think he had like a $4 million cap hit. They moved him. He is now on the Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks sent Vancouver I think a 2024 fifth-round pick. So, in what Vancouver basically did was a salary dump to get that $4 million off the books so that they can go out and get Zadorov from Calgary. So it's exactly what it was. And now Zadorov is a Vancouver Canuck. And what is Zadorov? He's a big D guy. I think he's 28. He can score. You know, he had a decent year last year with Calgary. But more than anything, he's a big physical guy, and he's a minute cruncher, minute muncher, whatever you want to call it. He can really stack up a lot of minutes and play a lot of, and that way it spreads out the defensive time for the players. In other words, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket like the Ducks do a lot of times with Cam Fowler. He's a minute muncher, and he's always out there. He plays usually against the best lines, and so he gets a lot of minutes because of it. Well, that's kind of what a Zadorov is for Vancouver in this sense, but that way they can spread it out. They also lost Carson Soucy recently. I think he's going to be out for at least a month, maybe more, with an injury. So, that they needed to bring somebody in on the blue line, and so Zadorov is the answer there. So Vancouver's been pretty busy as of late. I don't know what other teams. It's a little bit early to be talking about trades and trade rumors. I mean, we're only just December just started. I think we'll start heating up with the trade rumors and talking about trade talks, potential trades to teams, players that might be on the move, that kind of thing. As I love talking about that stuff in future videos, and it'll be a few months down the line as we get closer to spring and get a better idea on playoff-bound teams and not playoff-bound sellers and buyers. Hey, I want to also talk about something that was in the news recently too, about John Tortorella, and he's just not happy. Now, when is he not happy? Tortorella's always got something some beef about something, right? But this time it's legit. I mean, he's not happy with the way the NHL is going about its business when it comes to the big hits in the NHL, that kind of thing. I also don't like, and he probably is on the same page, about the players' reaction to big hits. So we all know this, okay? A player gets a legal hit, a legal check, whatever it might be. There's no penalty called because it was legal, but it's a monster hit, levels that other player. Well, that player's other teammates come to his defense and start pick fights and blah, 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 right? Why? Why are players doing this now? Why is it such a big deal that one of your own players got leveled? Instead of going after the player that gave him a legal, legitimate hockey check, hockey hit, instead of going after him like an idiot, why don't you go to the aid of your teammate and just make sure he's okay, make sure everything's all right, you know what I mean? Maybe remember who did it and try to deliver your own big hit on that player, right? But going after him, dropping the gloves, starting a fight, I think is ridiculous. And the referees really, this year, have got to stop being so soft and inconsistent. It's becoming a problem. Giving out major penalties for ticky-tack crap. And I watch it. Being a Ducks fan, watching Ducks games, I've seen this year specifically too, it seems like, the way the refs look at things is so lopsided in the way they make the calls. In most of the games I watched, Anaheim is getting penalized after penalties. Now, some of them are legit, and then the other times, the other team's not getting called, but the Ducks are. But so why? There was a recent game with Edmonton where Connor McDavid could do no wrong. But the Ducks sure as hell did. You know what I mean? It was just like, I don't care if he's a star player or the best player in the NHL. I don't give a shit. If he makes a penalty, call the penalty. If there's a huge scrum after the play or after a whistle, why is it that only one player will go to the box for something when there were 2 or 3 players involved in some punches and some whatever, you know what I mean? That those after whistle scrums. So it's like, call it consistently. It should be evened up, if anything, right? Instead of it being a power play for another team, it should at least be evened up. Couple of players or 2 players from each team, if it's a big scrum, That way there's no team is getting the benefit of a scrum because there's so many players involved or whatever. You get where I'm going with this. It's just not right. It's not fair for any team in the NHL to be on the short end of the stick when it comes to that. And the referees can't be deciding how games are dictated. It's almost like that no-goal call for the Anaheim Ducks when they played Florida. It's almost like that no goal call the Ducks had in the Florida game where that puck had clearly crossed the line and they called it a no goal. And it's like, what? You know, a similar situation there. It had nothing to do with a penalty, but why? You know, I just don't understand. But because that no goal call, cost us a point and cost us potentially winning the game. And ever since then, we have just been falling apart, it seems like. So anyway, comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you're new to this channel, please go down and subscribe. I know you guys haven't done it yet. Shoot, man. Most of the views and viewers haven't subscribed yet. So get your ass down there and subscribe. Do it now. And leave me a comment. Smash the like button. I want to know what you guys think about the referees this year. And anything else I talked about, Corey Perry, John Tortorella, and his thoughts on, you know, the referees and the fighting and the way the players react to things and big hits, and the trades. Give me a comment below. So hey, let's shift gears. Let's go to the Anaheim Ducks. Okay, Anaheim Ducks. So that's my favorite subject around these parts. I want to talk about how bad it is right now. Okay. I mean, they're on an 8-game losing streak. Shoot, I think the last time I put a video out a week ago, it was a 5-game losing streak or something like that. But, you know, dissecting what's happening with this team, shoot, man, we were fourth in the Pacific, just behind the Kings, okay? And then we go on this skid, and we just can't get out of it. No matter how hard or how well we play, we still can't get the win. And, you know, Calgary, Seattle, and Edmonton, who are all below us and not playing well, they've started to play better, but because of our 8-game losing streak, they have now passed us in the standings. And now we're only 4 points ahead of the lowly, crappy San Jose Sharks. That's sad, people. Ducks fans, we've got to right this ship, and we've got to do it soon. The problem is the schedule isn't going to help us one bit, but I'll tell you why. Here's my breakdown as to what's going on with this team, okay? So we can't score goals. We just can't. I mean, the last game we had, I think we put up 4, but my God, man. I mean, we're putting up 30-plus shots a night, which is great. It's huge difference, night and day from last year's where we couldn't get any shots on goal. But now we're getting the shots, but they're not going in. Yeah, we hit a couple posts, we hit some crossbars, but guys, McTavish, Killorn, Henrique, Bertrand, you guys have got to bury these things. Bury them, okay? I'm just so tired of watching these little breakaways, and they're just like, what did you do? Or shooting it at the net, and you shoot it right into the goalie's chest. Well, of course he's going to make the save. He didn't even do anything. He just shot it right at his chest. I don't know. They've got to score. They've got to finish more of these prime scoring chances and put it in the back of the net. That's one big problem. Another one is the penalties. They cannot stay out of the box. I think we're the most penalized team in the NHL right now. I'm telling you, that's not a good combination. You cannot be in the penalty box killing penalties all the time and expect to win. Straight up. I mean, you've got to fix that. Stop taking penalties. Some you take, and they're good penalties to take. Others, sometimes I wonder what's going on. You know what I mean? And you can see it on Greg Cronin's face when I watch the games. He's just like, dude, really? Another one? So it's very frustrating for fans, frustrating for the coaching staff as well. The other thing is special teams. Special teams right now is in the cellar. We were doing well for a while there. When we were winning games, the power play was starting to pick up. Things were happening. Good puck movement, getting shots on net and making plays. Picking up the trash, is like I like to call it. Those big fat rebounds that goalies will leave and scoring goals that way too. So Power play has just kind of gone away. Penalty killing is not nearly as good as it was in the beginning of the season. So there's lots of things we need to clean up on special teams to maybe right this ship as well. Special teams are huge. You get a power play goal, maybe 2, in a game, your chances of winning that game are way up there, right? Look at that last game with, I want to say it was Montreal. They're one of the worst teams in the NHL when it came to the power play, if I remember correctly. And it doesn't matter. You've got to score on the power play. You get 5 power plays, you better score on 2 of them. If you're constantly in the box and taking penalties, well, your penalty kill better step up and freaking kill those penalties. So, and we're not doing that right now. So, no matter how hard they try, they're not finishing their chances and scoring goals. The power play is not looking very good right now, and the penalty kill doesn't look good right now. So, shots on goal are good. We need to keep that up, but we need to bury those chances. First period. First period sucks. We cannot win first periods. They get down early, and they ruin it. And they get behind, and they can't come back. So that's not good. Here's another thing, too. The Ducks' bigger forwards and our defense are not finishing their checks and getting that physical play that we saw in the beginning of the year is not there anymore. Every once in a while you'll see it. Max Jones has been working his ass off and finishing his checks and getting in on the forecheck and that kind of thing. But there's just something missing that we saw early in the season when we were winning games. That tough, hard to play against type of mentality that we saw early on. Well, it went away. That Greg Cronin stamp on this team where we're going to be hard to play against. We're going to be, a physical, hard to play team. Go, work. Well, you see a little bit of it, but it's that physicality I haven't seen anymore. I want to see Gudis, Labushkin, the bigger guys like Killorn, Jones. They need to finish their checks. They need to start playing physical, make that team pay for playing us, make them second guess themselves, make them look up before they make that pass to make sure they're not going to get hit or try to, and then create a turnover. Excuse me. Create the turnover, create the scoring chances, right? So there you go. That needs to happen as well. The young core is not playing very well. Pat Verbeek, in a recent interview a few days ago, talked about it, where the younger players are starting to show they're young players and they don't have the NHL experience to consistently win. And that's a growing thing, and we kind of expected this. And now it's really starting to show its ugly head. These young guys are learning, and they're young. The more experienced teams, the more mature and experienced teams are showing the Ducks and their younger players what it takes to win, and you're hoping that rubs off at some point over the course of the season and then into next season. But it's certainly, my point is, it's certainly showing itself now. The young guys are starting to really learn that it is not easy to win in the NHL. So. Something else too, Zegras and Drysdale, I read and heard that they're skating now with the team. So yes, they're still out of the lineup. They're injured, but they are starting to skate with the team. That's a good sign. Hopefully, maybe they can bring something to this team. Maybe we start getting, once we get them back, maybe we can start winning some games. Zegras for sure. That guy is money when he's on his game and producing and creating. And so far, 1 goal, one assist, not cutting it. We need him in the lineup, and we need him playing well. Another thing, Leo Carlsson. Leo Carlsson is amazing. He is going to be a future star in this league year after year for the Anaheim Ducks. We've talked about it in previous videos. Ducks fans kind of know Verbeek's whole outlook and take on this is to save him and not play him every game, because an 82-game schedule is pretty grueling, especially for a young guy coming into the league for the first time. So I understand where he's going with it, but the inconsistency of not having him in the lineup on a nightly basis is hurting this team in the sense that the lines are never the same. The only consistent line is the McTavish, Strome, and Vetrano line, and they're producing and playing well. They've been playing together all season long so far, and you can see it. The chemistry's there. They know where each other is on the ice, right? So Terry, Killorn, Carlson, no Zegras either. You've got these inconsistencies that are starting to show. So I think that's a big problem. I say play him more. I understand they want to conserve him, so do it. But I think he needs to be in the lineup more. The Ducks play better when he's in the lineup. So, hey, wrapping up this video, before we do real quick, don't forget, go down, subscribe, right down in here, right here, you see that? Go down there and do that for me, will ya? Get on board with Ducks Hockey and more. We're going to blow it up, baby, okay? Smash the like button, and don't forget to leave me a comment. It's super important, but the like button helps so much, so please go do that, especially if you've made it this far. Shit, do it, okay? Let's blow it up. Schedule's not getting any easier, guys. We've got Colorado tonight. We've got Colorado again, okay, in Colorado. And then the Blackhawks and Bedard. Winnipeg Jets, good team. These are all good teams, except for Chicago. But the Islanders, the Rangers, Jersey, and then Detroit. I mean, it just keeps going. The Ducks have to figure it out if we are going to try to get ourselves out of this slump and get out of the cellar. I mean, we're down here. We're down with Chicago and San Jose again. Yes, we're a rebuilding team, but this is unacceptable because we've seen what this team can do. To me, this is just absolutely unacceptable. We should be at least a 500 team, okay? At least a 500 team. So anyways, guys, hey, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Ducks Hockey More will be coming back at you next week. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I will see you on the next one.